Hi, and welcome back to another video, where today I'm going to be looking at some of the attractions that could be added to Jurassic World Evolution 2 in the future. Because while Jurassic World Evolution 2, in general, is far superior to its predecessor, in some areas it does still feel a little flat. One of these areas is the attractions, as we have had nothing new in this aspect of the game. It's the only aspect of the game that hasn't changed, really, which is really strange, and I really hope they do try to rectify that in the future. So these are some of the ideas that Frontier could go with when they do try and fix this issue. So, before I get into it, please remember to like and subscribe, it really does help me out. So, yeah, let's get into it. The first one I'm going to talk about, and the one that I think is probably the most likely to be added to the game, and the one that would be the coolest to be added to the game, I think, just because how useful it would be the viewing dome. Now, this is a structure, if you remember all the way back to 2001 with JPOG, where you would place a entrance on the fence of the enclosure, and you would then connect this to a dome that you would place at some point in the enclosure. So essentially, your guests would go into the entrance, tunnel under the exhibit, and then go into the viewing dome where they could have a view that was impossible to get from the fence of the park, which really makes for some interesting enclosure design. So you could have a rainforest all the way around, so your guests then have to go through the viewing dome to get a cool view of the dinosaurs inside and get like a sanctuary sort of vibe without the fences or any of the theme parky stuff. This attraction type would also have a lot of uses for things for the aviaries and aquariums, as I could definitely see this be used in both of them. As with the aviary, you just use the same attraction really, because it could just sort of translate over, and with the aquarium you just need to have an underwater version, as you probably saw in the thumbnail of this video and on screen now. So yeah, I think this is a really cool one that could add a lot to the game. One thing I do just want to mention is I really think they should add ticket prices to attractions in Jurassic World Evolution 2, as it would be a nice little way to increase your income and have a bit more control over your park. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is again inspired from JPOG, as I do really feel that is where they're going to go when they are looking to add new attractions, as, you know, they've been proven to work, as JPOG has shown. And this is the Balloon Tour. The Balloon Tour is an attraction where you have a tower, people will go up the tower in a lift, they will get on a hot air balloon, and they will go to specific placed points that you have put around the map. And yeah, it's just really cool. You can have hot air balloons flying around your park, which I just think is a really cool concept to be able to have. That, like, you could have this, like, mystical feeling sort of thing with Jurassic World balloons going through the sky and all of that stuff, and I think that could be really cool. So not much to talk about that one, but I do think it would just be a really nice addition. Another one that would be quite cool to see would be the River Cruise. I know this one has been one that people have wanted in the game, but an insane amount of time now. But I do think it is one that would be very appreciated if it was added. I don't know how, quite how it would work. I feel like it would be hard to implement it into the game almost, but if it was implemented, I feel like you could make some really interesting enclosures with rivers running through multiple of them. Maybe it could, coincide with an improved water placement system, or something like that would be quite cool, because you could finally bring the Metric Amphigosaurus River Cruise to reality, or as close to reality as you can get in the confines of a video game. Another one that would be really interesting, I think, and one that is desperately needed, is a type of Sambarine ride. So this basically would just be a ride that you place, well, you know, the gyrospheres and the Jurassic tours, just that, but a Sambarine, so you can place it in your aquariums. And I think this again would be a really interesting way to add some life to your aquariums, because really there's nothing you can do with them other than place fish feeders, shark feeders, and viewing galleries, and I really think you need some more variation than that. And I think adding a viewing dome and maybe a Sambarine are two really interesting and cool ways to do it. And again, we already have the Sambarine to do the medical checks on the Mosasauruses and stuff as well. So it's not like it's out of the realms of what they can do for Jurassic World Evolution 2, it's just that it's not yet been implemented. And if I was going to bet my money on one being in the game, it would be on this and the viewing domes, as both of them are things that I think just make a lot of sense to add. So I'm hoping to see this at some point in the future. The final attraction type I have on this list is inspired by Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, and it is a treetop tour. Now, the way I think this would work is you would place Like, you would have big redwoods, and you could place, say 5 redwoods in an enclosure, and you would be able to connect up these big trees with bridges, and this would be used to view things such as the Mamenchiosaurus and the Brachiosaurus, and just get a really nice internal, like, bird's eye almost view of your enclosure. And I just think that's the thing that would be really cool to see. I haven't really got too much else to say about that. I just think, like, it would be really awesome to have, like, wooden bridges going across your exhibit and or that sort of thing. And yeah, I just quite like the idea. So yeah, this has been another short little video, but I really hope you enjoyed. And again, if you have, please consider to like and subscribe. It really, really does help me out. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.